Welcome to Hydrohaven, fellow container gardeners. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that can make or break your container garden's success: the quality of your soil. If you've ever struggled with plants that just won't thrive despite your best efforts, the answer might be hiding in your growing medium. Soil health is the foundation of container gardening success, and organic matter, specifically humus, is the secret ingredient that transforms ordinary soil into a thriving ecosystem for your plants. Why organic matter matters in container gardens. Container gardens face unique challenges compared to in-ground gardens. The limited space means your plants rely entirely on the nutrition, water retention, and structure of the soil you provide. Unlike garden beds that connect with the broader ecosystem, container plants exist in their own microenvironment. This makes the quality of your potting medium absolutely crucial. Organic matter, particularly humus, the stable end product of decomposed organic materials, creates the perfect environment for healthy root development and nutrient uptake. Sign 1. Your soil dries out too quickly. One of the most frustrating experiences in container gardening is constantly thirsty plants. You water them thoroughly in the morning, only to find them wilting by afternoon. If your soil is drying out at lightning speed, it's telling you something important. There's not enough organic matter to retain moisture. Humus acts like a sponge in your soil, capable of holding up to 90% of its weight in water. Without adequate organic matter, water simply passes through the container, taking valuable nutrients with it. This creates a stressful environment for your plants, forcing them to allocate energy to water seeking rather than producing flowers, fruits, or lush foliage. To test your soil's water retention, water it thoroughly, and note how long before it becomes dry to the touch. If it's less than 24 hours in moderate weather conditions, your soil is crying out for organic matter amendments like well-rotted compost or coconut coir. Sign 2. Compacted, hard-to-work soil. Have you noticed that when your soil dries out, it becomes rock hard and pulls away from the sides of your containers? Or perhaps when you try to work it with your hands, it feels dense and resistant? This compaction is a classic sign of poor soil structure and insufficient organic matter. Healthy container soil should maintain a crumbly, friable texture that allows roots to easily penetrate and expand. Organic matter creates spaces between soil particles, preventing them from binding together into an impenetrable mass. This improved structure also enhances oxygen flow to the roots, essential for plant respiration and nutrient uptake. If your soil feels like concrete, it's time to incorporate materials like leaf mold, finished compost, or aged manure to rebuild its structure and porosity. Sign 3. Water runs right through or pools on top. The way water moves through your container soil tells a story about its health. In poor soil that lacks organic matter, you'll often see one of two problematic scenarios. Either water rushes straight through without being absorbed, or it just pools on the surface, refusing to penetrate at all. These opposite but equally problematic issues both come from poor soil structure. Without organic matter to create proper pore spaces, water just can't move uniformly through the soil profile. Sandy soils allow water to drain too quickly, while clay-heavy soils become water repellent. Humus acts as a soil balancer, providing structure that lets water infiltrate at the right pace and be stored for plant use. If you're struggling with either extreme, adding well-decomposed organic matter will help normalize your soil's relationship with water. Sign 4. Stunted plant growth despite fertilizing. You've been following all the fertilizer recommendations, yet your plants remain stunted, with smaller than expected leaves and minimal new growth. This puzzling scenario often points to poor soil biology and structure. Without adequate organic matter, your container soil lacks the microbial activity needed to process nutrients into plant-available forms. Think of organic matter as both a pantry and a workforce for your soil. It stores nutrients and houses the microorganisms that make those nutrients accessible to plants. When you add fertilizer to soil lacking organic matter, many of those nutrients may remain locked in forms plants can't use, or they simply wash through the container. If your plants are underperforming despite regular feeding, it's time to build up the organic matter that creates the living bridge between nutrients and roots. Sign 5. Yellowing or discolored leaves. When container plants display yellowing leaves, also called chlorosis, unusual patterns of discoloration, or leaves that just look washed out instead of vibrant, your soil may be lacking the organic matter necessary for proper nutrient cycling. While specific deficiencies can cause particular patterns, a general decline in leaf color and quality often points to broader soil health issues. Organic matter not only supplies nutrients but also regulates their availability. It affects soil pH and creates exchange sites where nutrients can be held until plants need them. Without this buffering capacity, nutrients can become locked in unavailable forms or leach away during watering. Addressing this sign means incorporating materials rich in humus, like worm castings or mature compost, which slowly release a balanced spectrum of nutrients while improving your soil's ability to manage pH. Sign 6: Fungal diseases and root problems. Have you noticed your container plants suffering from repeated fungal infections, damping off of seedlings, or maybe root rot issues? Poor soil often creates conditions that favor pathogens over beneficial organisms. Healthy soil, with plenty of organic matter, fosters a diverse microbial community that naturally suppresses many disease-causing organisms. This protective function, called disease suppression, is honestly one of the most valuable but least visible benefits of organic matter in your containers. The beneficial fungi and bacteria that break down organic matter also produce antibiotics and actually compete with pathogens for resources. So, if disease problems keep showing up despite good cultural practices, rebuilding your soil's organic matter content with materials like properly composted bark, leaf mold, or microbially rich compost can really help establish this protective biological network. Sign 7: Soil that never seems to warm up. In early spring or during cool periods, have you noticed your container plants kind of lagging behind others? If your soil seems perpetually cold and slow to warm, it might be lacking the organic matter needed for proper thermal regulation. Dark-colored humus absorbs heat more efficiently than the mineral components of soil, which helps container media reach the best temperatures for root growth earlier in the season. This temperature-regulating quality is especially important in containers, since they're more exposed to environmental swings than in-ground gardens. Adding well-decomposed dark compost or worm castings can improve your soil's heat absorption properties, giving your plants a head start in cooler weather and helping to moderate temperature swings throughout the growing season. Sign 8: Excessive weed pressure. While container gardens usually face fewer weed challenges than open ground, persistent weed issues can actually point to poor soil conditions. Some weedy species really thrive in degraded soils and can outcompete your desired plants when the soil lacks enough organic matter. Healthy, humus-rich container media supports vigorous growth of your chosen plants, letting them establish quickly and use resources efficiently. This natural competition effect reduces the space and resources available to opportunistic weeds. Plus, the boosted microbial activity in organic-rich soil can help break down weed seeds. So, if weeds seem to outpace your plantings even with regular maintenance, improving your soil's organic content can shift the competitive balance back toward your desired plants. Sign 9: Susceptibility to temperature and moisture extremes. Container plants in poor soil often show exaggerated responses to weather fluctuations. They might wilt quickly during hot spells, show rapid drought stress, or suffer damage during cold snaps. This vulnerability stems from soil lacking the buffering capacity that organic matter provides. Humus-rich soil moderates extremes, creating a more stable environment for plant roots regardless of outside conditions. It insulates against temperature swings and provides moisture reserves during dry periods. If your container plants seem especially sensitive to weather changes compared to those in other gardens, increasing the organic matter content of your soil will help create a more resilient growing environment that protects plants during challenging conditions. Sign 10: Poor flowering and fruity despite healthy foliage. The final sign that your container soil needs organic matter improvement can be seen in disappointing reproductive growth. Plants may grow adequate foliage but produce few flowers or set little fruit. This productivity issue often relates to incomplete nutrition and stress responses in plants growing in poor soil. Flowering and fruiting represent a substantial energy investment for plants, requiring a complex balance of nutrients and optimal growing conditions. Organic matter supports this reproductive phase by providing slow-release micronutrients often missing from synthetic fertilizers, improving water management to reduce stress, and fostering beneficial microorganisms that help plants access phosphorus and other elements crucial for flower and fruit development. If your plants look healthy but underperform in the productivity department, enhancing your container soil with diverse sources of organic matter can help unlock their full potential. Rebuilding your container soil for success. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward creating thriving container gardens. Fortunately, container soil is easier to remediate than garden beds since you're working with smaller volumes. Begin incorporating quality compost, worm castings, decomposed leaf mold, or coconut coir into your potting mixes. For existing containers, you can top dress with organic materials or rejuvenate the soil at seasonal transitions by removing and replacing the top third of the media. Remember that building soil health is an ongoing process rather than a one-time fix. Each season, plan to replenish organic matter as it naturally breaks down and is consumed by plant growth and soil organisms. Your reward will be containers that require less maintenance, fewer inputs, and produce spectacular results season after season. Don't forget to subscribe to our Hydrohaven YouTube channel for more container gardening insights, and share this guide with fellow gardeners struggling with soil issues. Together, we can build better growing environments one container at a time. How has organic matter transformed your container garden? Share your experiences in the comments below.